I had some audio bug. Weird. I hope you guys hear me. You should hear me, right? Should hear me loud and clear. Hey, Sharsta, how's it going? What up? What up, yo? Atsuki. Oh, that's great, Sharta. That's good. That's good. There was no, the meter wasn't moving, and I had to restart. But for some reason, sometimes OBS removes whatever microphone settings you have. So it just completely removes it and goes to default, and the microphone is not picked up, which is super weird. Hey, boss, check this rainbow. Warm up. It's Friday. It is indeed. Sharta, that's really strange. Hopefully it'll be fixed. Hey, Quentin, what up? Rainbow warm up. So today I will be hey, Concept Sam 95. Today I will be doing sketching for another character of uh, from the Backwater Bastards podcast. I spent a little bit on my lunch yesterday painting that warm up. There's nothing says high class like a purple velvet suit. So, hey, that onion and just honest, welcome, man. And today, the beast of bits. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really funny. So today I'm gonna, if you don't know who this guy plays, is played by Daniel Matthews. I'll show you, so you just kind of get an idea. So the nobleman is played by Daniel Matthews, who is a concept artist who worked at Opus Arts. He loves environments and spaceships. So this is his art. The other guy, another guy that plays is Evan. He plays. Why aren't you seeing? I'm probably misspelling it. Amundsen. There we go. Another guy is like a pig farmer. Is played by Evan, who paints like this. But today I'm gonna draw a gnome who is played by this guy, this artist. This artist is called Devin Platz. He plays a gnome, like a money-hungry gnome. Um, so today I'll be painting his character, which is like a gnome with a crossbow. And the story is really funny if you guys want to listen. It's just Backwater Bastards. If you Google that, you should find the podcast. Hey, Rags, how's it going? Good morning. Concept Sam, thanks. And I'll show you two other sketches I did of the same universe. Um, so here, Evan, which is this guy, is fighting over the cheese that they're trying to tame the cat with in one of the episodes. And here in another episode, I'll be drawing this character today. Uh, there's this guy who's like trying to be all mysterious and dramatic, and he jumps off the harbor into a boat, but they don't see it. They just see him jumping into the water, and all of them are like, "Fuck that! We're going drinking beer." And the guy like trying to tell the story was like flustered, he had this whole dramatic scenario of going down the canals in a boat in mind, but they were like, screw this, we're going drinking. And the guy that tells the story, like in the Dungeons and Dragons style, master, who dictates what's happening, had to go with it. It was so funny. Hey, Max. Oh, nice to meet you. Nice that you. I mean, nice that you could join us from the beginning. It's Friday. Amir, what's up? Okay, let's start a timer. Enough talking. Um, yeah, the one with the coward is funny. The cat is called Coward. Hey, Tormod, how's it going? Right, so I'm gonna draw the gnome. So the gnome, they say he has a top hat, but I don't like the fact that he has a top hat. I'm gonna give him like a wizard's hat. Um, so I'm just gonna kind of play with the proportions a bit. I don't see him. I mean, even though he's a gnome, I'm not gonna give him a pot belly because Evan Amundsen, like he's a pig farmer, and I see him as like a short and stocky man. So this guy that I'm drawing now, he's a gnome. So obviously he has to be gnomish. Um, Probably like he likes money and he's very peculiar and he has a crossbow. So for me, I'm gonna have to try to um, like figure out how to marry the it all. So it's that guy holding the cheese. Up there. We're gonna have to figure out. Hey, Arms, how's it going? Hey, Martin Zemme. Welcome, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, in the podcast, they're talking about this guy who he has like a magical bag because he stores all the money in it, and it's a little bit of uh, funny, like a funny commentary on infinite inventory. Like a lot of games have like you have a bag on your back, but you have like 57 weapons in there. Uh, so they were kind of joking around about the fact that he has one as well because they give him all the money. The Devin, who is the guy playing this gnome, which is called Cedric, I think. Yeah, and a little bit of Gnome Helsing. Absolutely. Hey, Zelin, how's it going? But the Gnome Helsing of bookkeepers. That's the thing, right? Cedric the gnome, he's the bookkeeper of the gang, and they give him all the money because first of all the Baron, according to their story, right? The Baron, who is this guy played by um, Daniel Matthews, he's like a drunk, and if he has money he will drink, and it's so funny in the stories that they kind of tell in this podcast. Uh, the Baron, he doesn't fight. He just hides in a corner and drinks and like cheers people on and it's hilarious. It's really really funny, and he fails at absolutely everything and tries to drink like gods of drinking under the table, all sorts of stuff. It's really really. If you ever want to listen to something funny while working or while doing studies or whatever, try to Google Backwater Bastards podcast. It's really good fun. It I have to be honest, it's a bit cringy or at times. Sometimes I just have to take a break, walk away, it becomes a little bit too cringy for me, for my taste. Um, but it gets it gets really really good. And if you occasionally ignore the cringe and continue listening, it's really really good fun, especially for an artist um, like me who um, I'm very visual in my mind in how I think. So it's really the scenarios that they come up with is hilarious. Max, Evan is not running the podcast. I think it's Daniel Matthews who does all the hard work, but Evan is a integral part of the podcast. He's obviously playing one of the main characters, which is Blaznak. He, Evan plays the character Blaznak, the pig herder, who just loves to fight and smash things with his hammer. Um, which is a hilarious combination of a gnome who loves money and is brutal. He's like no, it's no bullshit with Cedric the gnome. He just all business, shoots people in the face. Blaznak, which is the goat, the pig herder, um, smashes things with hammers and just completely wild gun, and the Baron, who is a drunk, who doesn't like to fight or do any hard work, and that combination is you can see how the combination of them trying to do heroic quests or fight a sect, what how that will end up. It's just full chaos. Uh, Evan, Daniel, and Devin playing these characters, their solutions being creative people as well, and trying to stick to the character that they're playing. So they're not trying to make Evan's choices; they're trying to make Blaznak's choices. The pig herder, and how they're playing, and yeah, it's hilarious. It's really funny. Some of the some of the scenarios, like this scene I painted where the guy tries to do a dramatic exit and jumps like down off the harbor edge. Like, it was supposed to be this. They should all like go into the boat. There should be this explanation going through the canals of the city, a very dramatic moment. Instead, they just effed off, went to drink beer in the tavern, and the dungeon master, the guy telling the story, had to make the character making the dramatic exit go through canals, going to the bar underneath the bar in the channels, and come up and then continue the story, trying to lure them into the boat. And like it's like pulling nails. Is that what the saying? It was like really really hard work getting the trio into that boat to go to the story. It's really funny. It's really good fun. And then of course there's a lot of occasional cringy moments, but other than that, it's really fun. It's a great listen, and they had a guest, which was what was her name? Johanna Voss. Is that the name? She played some sort of half elf, magic person, and I saw I haven't finished the podcast, but I saw that they have another guest in the future episodes. Concept Sam. Oh yeah, I mean if you listen to the Backwater Bastard podcast, they go to the bar to lose money, to drink, and this Baron guy, played by Daniel, he just buys the most expensive stuff, and yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny. They're proper characters, even though they're made up and played by non, you know, not actors. Still, they still manage to create tangible characters, which is a really good job. Hey, Ice Die, Mind Waker, what's up? Welcome, welcome. And yeah, the Battlegrounds Call of Duty looks pretty cool. It's released on PC today. This curve is not right on the hat. They say he has a top hat. Maybe I should give him a sort of a top hat because that's more business and less wizard. Ah, let's do what they say he has. I'll give him a top hat. But that means I should change this painting up top right. But let it be a broken top hat. Or not. I mean, top hats is quite gnomish. I guess. One Amir Levy. Call of Duty stream? I was actually thinking, contemplating if I should start streaming the games I play. So, because I play games differently than other people. This sounds like I'm special, but maybe I am special. Sharta, I don't play D&D, no. I was invited by Daniel to join their podcast, so I might take up him up on his offer. So we'll see in the future. I currently I'm just way too busy to join their podcast. But as the idea of it could be fun. It could be fun to play a part, you know. I mean, he's sneaky, this guy. Maybe we should like barely see his eyes. He should have a beard, probably. I mean, all gnomes have beards, right? A little bit of a Scrooge beard. Yeah, I might. I'm actually might actually stream the beta if it's free to play. I mean, yeah. Fan art a game before playing it. I've done that actually a few times. Oh, you mean a D&D game? So I'm fan arting myself, drawing me before I decide what character I'm going to play in the Backwater Bastards um, D&D. Oh, that's a pretty good idea. Hey Mila, yeah, Cedric is up. I want to give him. I think I need to give him smaller glasses I'm not liking the look they have, and also I want to show his like I want to show his eyes being suspicious. So in order to do that, I gotta make the glasses smaller. And further out on his nose, right? And and he can't have them behind his ears then. He can just have them in front, like that. And because he's small, his eyeballs actually gotta be bigger if they are to scale, you know? So as I was thinking, if he is to scale and his eyeballs are that size, you know, if I want him to be short like a gnome, like this, yeah, he should have a little bit smaller eyeballs. Hey, Jimmy Animal, what up, yo? Oh, I made it. Oh, that's a cool idea. That's a cool idea. New work account. Oh, that's cool. Jimmy Animal, welcome with your new account. So I see Cedric the gnome having like really pinched iris, because as I see it, like a pinched iris is not a scared iris, right? He's not dilated. His his pinpoint iris is just dead, you know. There's no impact. You can't impact his dead gaze. Calculating, stone cold killer, the money, the money murderer, Cedric. He gotta have more bags because he carries all the money all the time. Could have them tucked under his. He could have some big ass belt as well. I like the on the painting I did top right. I like the curled shoes. It's very gnomish. Hey Mila, how's freelance going, by the way? Did you get more cards from Magic? Maybe his bullets are coins. I think in their story about Cedric the gnome is that he doesn't like to waste money, right? He wants to. He's the bookkeeper of the gang. He loves treasures. He even goes like occasionally in their stories, like when they're fighting something, he just goes away to like look for treasure. He treasure is number one in his book. So I doubt he would shoot money in that sense. He would kill for money though, which he is. In their story, Cedric the gnome, um, the Baron hired him to help on his quest. Like they're not friends. He's work for hire, and he just like the tone Devin chooses to play with Cedric is like he's just jaded murderer. This is such a weird combo. Like a gnome murderer who just is all business, really overpowered. It's such a funny combo of characters. Hey, Bon88, what's it going? Welcome, good morning. Hey, Mila, that's really good. I'm glad that I'm glad you it's going good and that you're managing to maintain the contract. That's fantastic news. You guys should be asking Mila if you want to work with Wizards or Magic, the Gathering. You guys have a guy on the inside here, or a girl on the inside rather. You should you should take the opportunity to ask questions, learn. Don't miss on the opportunity to, if Mila has time to answer your questions, or take that opportunity. A no murderer. Yeah. And she made the cut. She made it happen. You guys should, if you want to work with Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast, she is the guy to go to talk to see what it took. But I think most of all, I would post, if you want to get into that category of work as an illustrator, you should post it with a clear direction on Discord. Show your work and be open for comments, and just I would tag Mila on Discord and have her come over and look at your work, and other people who are of that caliber also obviously will look and start doing push-ups to get where you need to go. Because Mila, she didn't accidentally get picked up by them. You know, she worked hard, showcased the right style, the right flavor, with the right set of quality, and they approached her, if I remember correctly. You guys should not um, take stuff like that for granted. Make the best of any situation you're in, because if you don't, it's a lost opportunity. It's like being friends with, you know, whoever, name someone, and obviously you shouldn't abuse the ability to ask questions or ask for some pointers. You know, you shouldn't hammer them, you know, or assume they have time or whatever, but not trying at least to take the opportunity to learn something is a wasted opportunity. Oh yeah, Mila, post your work. Hit us with the link. Let us enjoy your beautiful handiwork. Mila. So the overall thing with this guy is like I kind of like the shape, but at the same time I don't. It's something about the posture and the overall combination of the shapes that I don't really feel them. It's the way the proportions are in the head, especially, I think. I kind of like the sway of the the bend of the cap at the top, but there's a lot of proportional issues. That's better. There's a better line there, better swoop. I also don't like that I tucked his hand into the pocket. It made the pose too complicated. What I think I gotta do is make him do the classic money man, hold the cuff, or the what's it called in English? The lapel. Hold the lapel pose. But that I think gotta move that out a bit. More like that. Yup. And then have that fall to depth. Big ass buttons, I think he needs. He's a gnome after all. Needs some fancier edge work, I think, in general on this jacket. It needs to be a little bit like Empire style, Empire era style jacket with, you know, embroidery and additional edge work and all these things. It gotta be a little bit more fancy. And on the pockets should need some stuff as well. Yeah, Cedric is being made dead toothbrush. Yeah, this is Daniel Matthews. Dead Toothbrush is Daniel Matthews, who runs the podcast. And he's the Baron in the corner there. Yeah, I would have loved to meet you, Mila, at the IW. It would have been fun. But Mila, we met, right? We've met before. It's just hard to remember names and faces for me at the moment. All the names are just merging together when you're at workshops and talking to hundreds of people over the years. I'm probably talked to thousands of